Hi everybody. So this is just going to be a test run. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to post this or not. I'm going to see how it goes. But as you can hear in the background, my little one is here right now. So I'm going to see how this goes. Let's see how much she interrupts me. Hopefully she doesn't, but she might. But I thought that this would be an interesting video to do, even though, like I say all the time in my videos, I don't like to speak on Latin American issues. I try to stay away from that as much as possible. I touch on it here and there, but I don't really talk about it too much. Why? Because I feel like I know I'm on the outside looking in when it comes to that. So, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to, when I found this article, I wanted to, in a way, kind of debunk some of the talking points that I hear here on YouTube a lot. Number one, this is really mainly focused on debunking talking points, okay? I'm not here trying to insult any men. I'm not trying to put any of Latino men in a negative light. But this is something that I found very interesting during the course of events that have been going on here on YouTube and some of the stuff that people have been talking about. So this article is from NPR. And as you can see, it's a little bit on the older side, but you can still find more recent articles with regards to this topic. But I thought that this one was pretty substantial, so I figured I'd share it. All across Latin America, unwed mothers are now the norm. Okay? So this is basically talking about single motherhood in Latin America. And what we hear a lot here online is that there are these groups of people traveling to Latin America, sleeping with the women and, basically bringing quote unquote their dysfunction. Bringing their dysfunction over to these countries, right? So I'm going to just start. Maria Mercedes Vitar is a human resources manager and a tall, willowy mother of two. When we met, she has 7-month-old Lupita in her arms. The baby is the product of a short-term relationship Vitar had with a coworker. Vitar's older daughter, Azul, age 3, is spending the day with her father, Vitar's former boyfriend, with whom she had a 5-year relationship since ended. So Vitar has 2 children with 2 different fathers, and she is currently unattached, and she's perfectly fine with that. I really like Lupita's dad, but we weren't in love. Lupita was a surprise. It never even occurred to me to have a formal relationship. He lives in his house, I live in mine, she says. And she adds, empathetically, it was her choice. Things have really changed, she says. Today, we women are a lot freer. We decide what we like and what we don't. We work. We are independent. And that gives us a lot of strength. We can do it alone if we have to. Sounds familiar, right? Vitar says she has excellent relations with both fathers of her children, and they are financially and personally involved with their respective kids. I come from a very traditional family. My parents are still married. I didn't expect this life, she adds. But luckily, she says, I live in a time when none of this is strange. This is true. She gives an example. At Azul's birthday, the girl's father attended, as did the ex-wife of Lupita's father, with her kids, Lupita's half-siblings. The new norm. Sound confusing? It's rapidly becoming the norm in Latin America. Okay. Latin America is now the region that has the highest percentage of children born out of wedlock. I'll repeat that. Latin America is now the region that has the highest percentage of children born out of wedlock. In Colombia, 84% of all children are born to unmarried mothers. Argentina, Mexico, Chile, and other countries throughout the region have similar numbers, with well over half of all children born outside wedlock. What are you doing over there? My mommy is kicking in, as you can hear. Shh. Stop. In less than a generation in Argentina, the traditional definition of family has given way to new interpretations, and it's happening at all economic levels. Educated, middle-class women are now among the many choosing to have kids alone or in an informal union. At the apartment where I met Vitar are two of her close friends. They all vacation together and hang out all the time. Vitar explains that they are part of her extended family too. We are a big group, so we all support each other, says Anna Zapala, a single mother of Ambar too. Paola Fiorita, a photographer, lives with the father of her child, Lucio, age 3, but the couple is not married. Fiorita says having a child was far more important than the ritual of getting married, which she sees as just paperwork. She says there are no perfect families anymore. I think you create the family for your child. I don't think my son's family is just us and his grandparents, but we are all aunts and cousins if we are not biologically related, she says. Widespread acceptance. Maria Esther Del Palma is the president of Argentine Society for Family Therapy. Things have changed so radically that now there is a huge diversity that is deemed acceptable and it is valued. You don't have to get married like before to have a place in society, she says. The explanation for those shifts includes the onerous marriage laws here. Until 2012 in Argentina, you needed to wait a lengthy period for a divorce and give cause. And there were different stiff financial penalties for breaking up instead of keeping people together. It made a younger generation not want to get married at all. The model for the younger generation is to place importance on the content of the relationship and not the form it takes, says Barbara Schmidt, a psychologist who has studied the issue. Marriage has become so uncommon that there are now fake wedding parties attended by paying guests who want to have the experience of going to a nuptial, which isn't to say it's easy to be an unmarried mother. Back at the apartment, Maria Mercedes Vitar, though, that's not the point. She says there are a lot fewer value judgments about the choices she and other women have made in Argentina. We are the families of the future, or actually, she says, reconsidering the families of today. Okay. And then I just want to kind of touch on, so this is NPR, like I said. And then I also found this because I was curious to kind of compare how it is here in the States. So I'm not going to read this. I'll leave both of the links to both of these articles in the description box. But here, I just wanted to show a chart. I like this article because it shows like an actual chart here, okay? And in this, as you can see, it says, the percent of births occurring to unmarried women has grown most rapidly among white and Hispanic women. Percent of births occurring to unmarried women age 18 plus by race, ethnicity, 1990 and 2016. So as you can see, look at how big this gap is here from Hispanic people here in the States. So it's almost as if what's happening over there is reflecting what's happening over here. People might say it's the other way around, right? What's happening over here, the trends of single motherhood is affecting what's happening over there. I would say from what it sounds like, especially with this article over here, it reads as though, they didn't say the term, feminism or whatever. And I'm not trying to blame anything on any group or whatever, but that would probably be the kind of like the argument as a reasoning as to why this is happening over there, because of the rise of women's liberation on a global scale. Bless you. So, I bless you. So I thought that this would be really interesting to touch on, especially because you hear a lot of people. What are you doing? Let me see what that is. Okay, that's okay. Yes, that's okay. That's okay. You can rip that piece of paper up. That's okay. Yes, you can rip it up. Sorry. So now I feel like I lost my train of thought. So yeah, the reason why, or the main reason why I wanted to bring this up, because again, the talking points that you hear from a lot of people on here is that when there's like this traveling to Latin American countries, that the people here are basically taking their levels of dysfunction and bringing it over there. And it's like, dude, like, it can't be that these very small percentage of people are causing this much dysfunction over there, because the percentage of out of wedlock births within Latin America is pretty huge, and there's not that many people from here traveling over there to these countries to that degree. It's not like that, and we're not affecting them like that. It's not the people that are traveling. It's just certain Western ideologies that are infiltrating these countries. But does that have to do with the people that are traveling over there? No, that just has to do with Western ideologies just bleeding into the rest of the world. And I figured I would bring this to a point, again, not to insult any group, not to insult any men, just to kind of highlight, like, look, this is kind of something that if we're doing worse on, I don't know if we have the ability to be like, pointing fingers at other groups and blaming other groups, right? I think it's time to be like, okay, we need to really look at our own group, and we need to start paying attention to what it is that we're doing, right? So just want to go back to this one again, because yeah, like, this is pretty high, right? And of course with white women, yeah, it's pretty high too, right? But yeah, this is pretty high. And again, this is from 1990 to 2016. So, and as you can see, for this group, for this demographic, it has, it went up, but not by much, not the way it has with us, right? So I figured that this would be something interesting to share. I'm gonna go for now. I hope you are all doing well. I'm gonna see if I can go out today and do kind of like a something of what I did the other day, where I could kind of like show how empty things are in certain parts of certain neighborhoods. But I'll see if I could do that today. If not, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But I'm gonna go for now. Again, I hope you all are well. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear your masks, do whatever it is that you got to do to keep you and your family protected. And I'm gonna go for now. Bye.